Good morning. It is, well, yes, it's still morning. It is 10:45. I just had a delicious breakfast. I ate one of our meal preps we made together last week, the lentil chicken arugula salad. Absolutely phenomenal. And I am now well fed, about to be well caffeinated. I've had 1 cup of coffee and I'm going to have a second one on my way out to the garden. We are officially past our last frost date, which is super exciting. I just added some whole milk to that. I'm gonna add a little bit of collagen powder because I didn't add any to my first cup of coffee. Ooh, it's getting a little full. Just a little scoop. And then I have some French vanilla monk fruit. Add that, just a little bit, a couple drops. Mix that together. And this is going to get us through a very busy day in the garden. I have so much to do and I'm excited to bring you along for it. Did I say we're past our last frost date? And at night it is 50 to 55 degrees, which is perfect for the peppers. I have been hardening off my peppers for the last 2 weeks, which means I've just been letting them hang out outside. Delicious. I need to have a couple sips before I go out there because it's too full. So hardening off peppers, I've been letting them hang out outside and they've actually spent a couple nights outside. This is what my back patio looks like right now. It's kind of a mess of plants everywhere. And my goal is to finish planting out this garden in the next 2 days. So we've got so much to do. We're gonna see how far we can get today. I for sure want to get my 2 green stalks that I have left planted out with some of these pepper plants. And I'm going to be taking a lot of these pepper plants and all of the tomato plants and bringing them to the garden and laying them out where I want to put them. We might not get them all in the ground today, but in the next 2 days, we will get all this done, I think, or at least that's my goal. I already have dinner figured out for tonight. These are plants I got from Azure. I actually got them on Thursday. Today is Monday, so they really should get in the ground. I've been kind of hardening them off out here. We had a fun weekend. Oh, there's some honeybees. We went on a picnic, we did fun things. We actually been working on the chicken coop. I get a lot of questions about the chicken coop. No, we've not finished it. We had a baby in January, so we obviously paused that, and then we had to wait for the weather to get nice, and we've started painting it. So the last 2 days we had painted the, well, I'm saying we, I have not. I've hung out with Josh, we've been out there as a family, but Josh has painted the inside. He purchased the flooring, and so we're getting close to moving the chickens to the new chicken coop. But all that to say, I did not get to planting anything, and that is my goal today. So all of these plants are from Azure. We have some different pumpkins here. I've got some tomatillos. I have a ground cherry. My ground cherries did not sprout. My tomatillos did, but I bought these as a backup. We've got more kale, a couple flowers in here, tons of basil. What was this one? Half my kale. Oh, huckleberry. I think I bought 2 huckleberries. So that's going to be fun to grow. 3 of my kales got eaten by slugs. So we're going to have to replant some of those. I'm going to plant a bunch of these herbs in the green stalk. My rosemary died 2 years ago in a hard frost we had. I've got some flowers. These are Cosmos Status. What is this? Baby's breath. We've got watermelons and different types of melons and more kale. So we're going to get a lot of this planted out today. One of my big goals is to clean this patio up and pressure wash, but I can't do that until I've taken care of all these plants and I've got my green stalks planted out. So I've got this one here. I think we're going to do this project first because it seems like the lowest hanging fruit. I'll be able to accomplish it. I'll feel productive and it'll just feel really good to get it done. So we've got this. We're going to also, in the next 2 days, plant a ton of seed out. I want to get all the zinnias planted, pumpkins planted, beans planted. So it's just going to be a busy couple days. I think I'm going to go ahead and put my umbrella up because it's supposed to be the hottest day of the year so far today, which is 78. And to me, that is going to feel very warm. So I don't want to get overheated too early in the day. I need to get all of these green stalks planted out too before Josh can set up the irrigation system on them. So that's another reason why I want to get these done. Oh yeah, this will be nice. I want to show you just how beautiful these plants look. I think these are some of the absolute best pepper plants I have ever started. They're just, and they're even flowering, which is crazy. So there's honeybees everywhere. The honeybees have come out. You might hear a buzzing. The honeybees come back here to drink, and that's not the most practical. So Josh also, once we get the chicken coop, well, you might do it actually before we get the chicken coop completely done, but he's got a watering system he's figured out that he's gonna build for them so that they have an easy place to drink next to the hives, not back here. So I have 2 planters that we're gonna plant out this morning. Hopefully we get it done this morning. I need to amend this soil like I did with the other ones. Got to come up with a good system. I did not go to the gym today. Normally I work out on Monday mornings, but I knew that would not be a good idea before doing today's project. So I have another bucket that I'm dumping this into, and I have some soil from amending the other beds. Josh bought me some mushroom compost that I'm going to mix into that soil that I just dumped out. This year, I've been much gentler on myself with what my expectations are on what I feel like I need to do myself. Sometimes I feel like I need to cook everything from scratch. I can't buy any convenience items. I need to start all of my veggie starts, and I hear you all saying it's okay to get a little help. And so this year, I really just started the things that I really wanted to start, like my tomatoes, peppers, and a few flowers. And then I am taking the help of purchasing some starts from Azure. I purchased quite a bit from Azure and my local nurseries. If you guys are interested in Azure's plants, they have a huge selection. I will put them as the first link down below. They are sponsoring today's video, so I'm super grateful for them and for you for being here. So I will link them down below. But I am so grateful that I've kind of found a good balance. This is a really busy time of year, and I feel like being in this kind of still really newly postpartum time, I've found a good balance of what I want to do myself and what I'm going to get help from others. And so this has worked great. Now, I am so happy with how I have amended this soil. I'm just doing the same thing, mixing in some compost, and I'm going to get these filled so that we can get planting. These 2 planters are the ones that I am the most excited about. The strawberries I love strawberries and I'm excited for the strawberries, but those are more for my family. The green bean one I'm really looking forward to because I'm going to put a lot of herbs in it, and that's going to be super fun for culinary cooking. And then the pepper one, that's just basically 100% for me, and I can't wait. And then I got this one done. I'm going to do the same thing with the other one that I have right there. I'm going to put this in the other pile. I'm running out of space here. I don't have any more space in that other bucket. Let me go get one more bag of compost. With this one, the one that I'm going to put the peppers in, I'm not going to fill this as high because if you can see, these pepper plants are in big pots. These are 6-inch pots. And I'm going to put all that soil in there. So look how good this pepper plant looks. So beautiful. This is a serrano pepper. Yeah, so that's going to take up a lot of space with soil. So I don't need to fill. I'm going to fill them about halfway. So that's about as full as I'm going to fill these ones, about half full. I think I'm going to need to just dump one of these out right here, and I'll figure out what to do with that later because I am out of space. And you know what I'm going to do? Let's see. I need to start soaking some seeds actually, because that will just give them a jump start and have better germination, I think. Okay, that feels good. All of the planters now are amended. What I think I need to do now is get some seeds soaking while we get our pepper ones planted up. I can't remember if I showed you, but I need to get all these planted up too. Over the weekend, it dawned on me that it is like serious go time, and I had a little bit of a panic because I hadn't started any zinnias, sunflowers, pumpkins, but then I remembered I was going to direct sow a bunch of those things so that I didn't need to panic. But then I've changed my mind. My parents were over here yesterday, and we are going to actually start some of those inside, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Let's do one thing at a time. Let's get some green beans soaking. I absolutely love jade green beans. They are by far my favorite green bean. I have grown a bunch of different varieties. That's one fun thing about going into my 6th growing season, I believe it's my 6th, is that you get to start to know, oh, soybeans, completely forgot. I wanted to grow soybeans. One of my favorite things about gardening, as long as I have now at this point, is learning what varieties I like. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sure I have a big packet of jade beans. Oh my goodness, I have something I have to show you out in the garden at some point. Pulling out some different varieties that I want to remember to plant, that if I don't, I will forget. Jade. Okay. So hopefully in the next 2 days, we're also going to get some soybeans planted. All of the pole beans and bush beans. I believe it was this variety that I planted last year, and I cleaned it up about 2 months ago when it was in March, sometime in March when I planted my potatoes. And they are all growing back from the rootstock, which is crazy. I had no idea that that was even possible. And I think it's this one. I'm gonna have to look up from last year's garden if it was indeed those. These are a new variety I want to get planted this year. They're a pole bean, but this is what we're focusing on right now. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 25 seeds. I'll probably grab a couple more from this seed pack. I went inside and grabbed just a mason jar, and I'm going to pour all of these in here. I should probably start saving jade green bean seeds. I don't know why I haven't. I saved lots of other bean seeds. For some reason, it seems more intimidating to save green bean seeds than other varieties, but I should probably start doing that. A couple pinches in there. That should be enough. If not, I've got more where that came from. And I'm just gonna let these soak for a little bit while we work on planting out one of the other planters. I think what I want to do is get all of these kind of closer together and plan out this a little bit better. Just put them next to each other. This is what we're planting out. Now my plan for this is to overwinter serrano peppers. We're going to give that a go this year. I'm also wanting to overwinter calibrachoa, which are these little white flowers here. I've mentioned this before, but we had a very mild winter. And let me show you over here. All of the plants in this planter overwintered. I transplanted these petunias from the petunias that overwintered in my main garden, but I went ahead and put them up here. This is calibrachoa, also known as million bells, and these overwintered. I had an entire green stalk planted out with this variety of flower, and I regrettably ripped it all out at the end of the growing season. And I wish I hadn't, because my mom had one as well. I had Mother's Day, we went shopping together, and I bought all my flowers, I bought all her flowers, and 80% of her green stalk survived. She only had to fill in a few, and I'm just bummed. So I know that this can overwinter. Now last year was exceptionally mild. The year before and the year before that, we had 2 huge ice storms. So those would not have survived in a typical growing season, I don't believe, but my peppers would not survive in a typical growing season, and I'm going to overwinter these in the grow room. So I'm going to plant white calibrachoa with my serrano peppers, and we're going to attempt to overwinter both these flowers and these peppers. I want to add flowers to these pepper planters. That wasn't my original plan, but flowers are so beautiful that I don't want just peppers. We're gonna do flowers and peppers. This whole planter is gonna be serrano peppers. And I can't decide if I'm gonna do 3 serrano peppers. Wait, how many did I buy? I think I only bought enough for 2 calibrachoa per. Let's see. I think yeah, yes. Okay, so that answers my question. I'm gonna do, oh, they're right here. Oh, maybe I did buy enough for 3. So I have a bunch right here too. Okay, let's see, did I buy enough for 3? These are double white calibrachoa. Yep, I bought enough for 3. Okay, so I'm gonna put 3 in each of those. I need 1, 2, I need 4 more of the serrano peppers. I just fertilized these plants with fish fertilizer, and so they kind of stink a little bit. You probably caught this. I did not put any plants in this one here. So I have to decide if I'm gonna go to the store and buy 3 more of these, or I just do 2 flowers per row. What would be more striking? 3 flowers or 2? I'm gonna go pick up. All right, Josh. Actually, I'm gonna go text Josh and see if he can pick up 3 of these on his way home. Josh already is almost home at this point, so I have a dentist appointment at 7:30 in the morning tomorrow. So what I will do is I will just pick up 3 more of these when I'm on my way home tomorrow. This is what I'm thinking. I just watered these. I probably shouldn't have watered them. Look how good these roots are. Uh-oh. I should have let these be a little bit drier. They would have come out of this pot a little better. But, I mean, look how beautiful that is. So I am going to put these close to the edge. This is perfect time because the roots are just starting to want to come out of this pot. I think these are the best pepper plants I've ever grown. You know what? That's actually 2. Shouldn't have watered these yesterday. This right here is 2 plants, so I only have to buy 2 tomorrow. I think what I'm gonna do is start stacking these as I can, just to make room, because I don't have very much room and I feel like I'm climbing over everything. This is gonna be my first layer. I'm gonna have the one that I need to still put flowers in be the top one, because that will be the easiest to have access to. And maybe, what I probably should have done, well, I don't know. This is gonna work. But I already feel like I have a little bit more space to move here.
One thing I did not realize when I first started gardening is I thought you could put peppers and tomatoes outside as soon as your last frost date was passed. We are past our frost date, but really peppers and tomatoes don't really like the temperatures getting below 45 degrees. And so many times when I first started gardening, I would put my peppers and tomatoes out way too early. I think twice I lost all my tomatoes because we had a frost. And so this year I'm actually putting stuff out much later, probably 2-3 weeks out later than I normally do. But not because I plan to do that necessarily, because I'm newly postpartum still. And this is just when it's working out for me to get this done. And I think that's actually going to be a good thing, because when I'm putting these peppers and tomatoes out, our nighttime temperatures are supposed to be in the 50s, which I think my peppers and tomatoes will be super grateful for those warmer temps. And like I said, this pepper green stalk is the one I'm most excited about. I made last year 4 half pints of serrano pepper cowboy candy, and I think I went through 1 half pint a week. So it only took me less than a month, basically, and I went through all of it. It was so good. And I'm the only one in my family that likes it. My brother and dad do, but I mean like in my immediate family. So I want to turn most of these serrano peppers into serrano pepper cowboy candy for me, my dad, and my brother. And then I am going to also dehydrate some and put the dehydrated crispy serrano peppers in olive oil. I did that last year as well, and that is absolutely delicious and crunchy. And I'm really looking forward to that. So this green stock is for me, and it's gonna look so beautiful when it is all said and done.
One project basically done. I'm gonna call it done even though I have 3 more that I need to plant in. Normally I would water from the top, but anytime I first plant, I always water each cell. So that is super exciting. Now let's get going on this one over here. I've completely made a mess, and I did use all of this soil to up pot. So I'm just gonna take some of that, fill it back up, kind of lay these out nicely again. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do with these ones yet. I've got a vague idea. I'm gonna be using some of the plants I got from Azure in here. This is gonna be an herb green bean flower planter. I love growing green beans in these planters because you don't have to bend over to try to harvest them. And I like bush beans better, but I don't always love how you have to harvest them. Let me just try to clean up a little bit so I don't trip over something. So I think I'm gonna do the same thing where I'm gonna kind of lay these out, then plan out how I want to do this. And then we can clean the back patio up, I can pressure wash, and we have a nice place to hang out and eat dinner. This I do want to fill up quite a bit more because some of these pockets are just going to have seed, and obviously that doesn't take up very much space. Okay, so these are all prepped. So I'm gonna do this a little different. I'm gonna go grab some of my goodies from over here. Did I only get 1 parsley plant? Oh, no, I got 3. And I got basil. Got a couple different assorted basils. I got flat leaf parsley, curly parsley. I have so much parsley. I've got a bunch of different basil. So I want to do basil, parsley, green beans in here, and pink and white petunias. I did not know that I loved the color pink till I started gardening. And I love white flowers too. So let's just do this. I got these petunias on a huge sale. It was 2 6-packs for $7. That's a really good price for petunias, but they are on the smaller side, but they'll grow quick. I think we'll do 1 white in each tier. I'm just making this up as I go. And then let's do maybe 1 pink in each tier. These are definitely wanting to be planted. I bought these like a week ago now. Let's do a crossed from each other. And I'll try to make it look a little random when I stack these up. I need 1 more pink one.
Now, so far this garden season has felt very manageable. Like I said, I did not start near as many starts this year as I normally do. And I am going to be growing a lot of things from seed, but instead of starting them indoors, I'm going to try to direct sow a lot more this year. That's another thing that is going to help save me time and effort. Actually, as I'm talking to you today, I plan to go out there and direct sow a ton of sunflowers and zinnias. Normally I start my zinnias indoors, but I am going to direct sow them, and I think they will do just fine that way. But this time of year is like crazy go, go, go. So far it's been basically just starting some tomatoes and peppers and a couple flowers and keeping them alive. But this week and the following week are basically get everything into the ground as quickly as possible. I did want to show you this up close. This is one of the 4-inch basil plants, and there's probably 10 plants in this one pot, and I don't want to put all those in one of the pockets. So I'm going to gently break those apart and kind of separate them. But it's go, go, go. I've got about 2 weeks from when I started this day where I'm just like, get the garden in. And then it slows way, way down. There's like this huge rush to get everything in the garden. And then it comes almost to a screeching halt because you're basically just sitting there watching things grow. And then it ramps back up when harvest comes in. Now, as I'm talking to you today, I am harvesting some stuff out of the garden, which is pretty exciting. I am harvesting lettuce. Sadly, I'm not harvesting peas or sugar snap peas. I had to plant sugar snap peas 3 times in my garden before I got any to germinate. So I finally have peas out in the garden that are about, the actual plants are only about 1.5 inches tall. So it'll be a few weeks before we're harvesting peas. If my first set of planting had gone according to plan, I would be harvesting sugar snap peas and lettuce right now, but that's how gardening goes. You just got to be persistent. Sometimes things do not germinate and you just got to replant. So here I've soaked my bean seeds. So what I've done in each one of these tiers, each tier has 1 white petunia, 1 pink petunia, and 1 herb, either basil or parsley. And then there's going to be 3 pockets of green beans. I have really liked growing green beans, bush bean varieties. I have not tried growing pole beans in a green stock. That would probably become a jungle mess if you didn't have a trellis system for them. So I really like growing bush bean varieties in these green stalks. What I like about it is the plant tips over and it's really easy to harvest the green beans. And so this has quickly become one of my favorite things to grow in these planters. But I did, because this potting mix was so dry, I thought it would be a good idea to soak the seed first for, I don't know, it was probably soaking for about 1.5 hours maybe. And then I normally would only water the top of these planters, but because I just direct sowed seed, until these seeds germinate, I will water each individual pocket that has seed in it so that that seed stays nice and hydrated during the germination process. So this planter doesn't look quite as exciting as the pepper and flower planter because there's obviously seed. The flowers are pretty small and the basil and parsley are pretty small at this point, but this is going to get really, really beautiful when it all starts to grow out. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this one looks like when it is just full and lush. So there you could see I was watering the pockets, and that's because I want to make sure that those seeds stay really, really hydrated. This week when I was planting out, it was supposed to be nice all week, but we ended up getting 2 days of beautiful weather. So we work out in the garden all day on this day and then the following day. And then it ends up torrential downpouring for 2 days. And so I wasn't able to get out in the garden for 2 days, but then it gets nice again. And so we end up spending 3 full days out in the garden this week. And then the following week is, I'm talking to you right now, I'm going to be getting out to the garden today. It is perfect weather out there right now, actually. As I'm talking to you, it is overcast and I think like 65 degrees. So I'm really looking forward to, when I'm done chatting with you, to get out into the garden, and I'm going to direct sow zinnias and sunflowers. So here I want to clean up this mess. I'm going to fold my tarp and sweep up the potting mix. Amending the potting mix seems to be going really, really well. The strawberries that I planted are looking fantastic. They're green and lush, and everything that I've planted out with adding some compost into the potting mix is just looking super, super happy. So I'm really glad that I went ahead and did that, because I think it's just giving a little bit more life and nutrients to the plants. I do feed these planters once a week during the growing season, because these are in pots basically, and you're watering them. The nutrients is slowly leaching out of these planters. So once a week I feed them with a fish fertilizer. I've used Neptune's Harvest, and then I have a little bit left of that I bought last year. I buy a whole gallon at a time. And then to replenish this year, I got a fish fertilizer from Azure. It's basically just like decomposed fish, and I put a couple tablespoons in the top of each planter, and then I water it in. And I try to do that once a week just to make sure that everything is getting fed really well and is just super happy throughout the growing season. So here what I'm doing is I'm taking some of this potting mix and I am going to be planting up some pumpkins in this. I was going back and forth. My original plan was to put pumpkins directly into the ground and direct sow because that saves a step. Obviously, I don't have to fill pots with soil and I don't have to plant them and keep them watered inside and then transplant them. So direct sowing obviously saves a ton of time. But in the past, when I've direct sowed, I've had very mixed success. A lot of times what happens when I direct sow pumpkins is I think either like mice or birds or something eat the seed. And I think that's actually what was happening to my pea seeds. I'm pretty sure a little critter was eating my seeds because I went out there and I would see like half of the seed eaten. So I'm not sure. But I decided that my pumpkins, I am going to go ahead and just start inside. But I'm not trying to like jumpstart the process or anything like that. Pumpkins don't really like to be direct sowed. They would rather be, pumpkins don't like to be transplanted. They would rather be direct sowed. But just to save me from having to deal with losing seed to critters, I'm going to start them inside. I'm going to let them sprout. And basically, as soon as I see any bit of sprouting, I'm going to put them outside. I'm going to let them get one true leaf, and then I'll put them in the ground. But I'm not trying to basically jumpstart the process. I just want to have them sprout in a condition that's a little bit more controlled, and I know a critter's not going to get them. But I don't want them to be inside where then I have to work on hardening them off. So I'm going to start them in the grow room. When I see them sprout, I will put them on a tray outside so that they're in outside conditions and they will just harden themselves off automatically. And then as soon as they have one true leaf, I'll just put them directly into the ground. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of preparing those pots for whenever I get my pumpkins planted.
Well, that was super productive so far. We got the last two of the green stalk planters planted out. I think they're going to look super beautiful. Well, I already think this one looks beautiful, but when this one starts to grow, oh my goodness, it's going to look stunning. Super, super happy though with this one. The backyard is starting to look quite a bit tidier, but we have so much more to do. We hardly put what feels like a dent in these pepper plants. So what I think I'm going to do now, because this is going to be a big project, just moving all of these plants down into the garden. These all need to go down into the garden, and I need to figure out where they're going to go. So I think I'm going to call in reinforcements, and I'm going to ask Josh if he can grab the side-by-side and we can load all these plants up in the side-by-side and drive them down there, because I'm only going to be able to carry one, maybe two at a time, and that is just going to take too long. Josh is on his way with the side-by-side. So what I'm gonna do is get this closer to where the side-by-side, it can't obviously come in the backyard, but it can come to this back gate. And it's probably gonna take 2 trips, even in the side-by-side, to get all these plants down there, maybe 3. I don't even know where I'm putting these. I normally have a plan, like this is going to be a pumpkin bed, this is gonna be a tomato bed. And I know some of those, but mostly I don't know. So that's part of the challenge and the fun, is figuring out where all these plants are even gonna go. I know where the tomatoes are gonna go, so maybe we'll start with those. Yeah, we'll probably start with the tomatoes, because that will be the easiest for me. My peppers might be some of the best pepper plants I've ever grown. My tomatoes, I would say, are okay. They're definitely not the best, but they definitely aren't the worst. You can see some are kind of yellowing. I just fed them yesterday. Like this one looks beautiful. This one looks okay. These ones look beautiful. These were my second planting of pineapple, and they look way better than the first planting that I did, and they've even caught up in size, which is kind of crazy. So let's get all these down into the garden. I need to get the pumpkins planted and the melons planted, hopefully today. The peppers are doing pretty okay in these pots, so if I don't get them planted today, that'll be okay. I've also got these beautiful giant marigolds that need to go in the ground. You might hear my neighbor mowing. A really nice day to mow right now. Yeah, this is the right call here. So these are all different types of tomatoes. So those are gonna go over there. My aromas are gonna go here because that's what I'm gonna tackle first. Because that's not gonna take any brain power. These 2 trays are aromas. I think I only have 2 trays of aromas. These are all indeterminate varieties here. Those 2. And this one. Some of these are my mother-in-law's. I already yesterday when my mom was here gave some to my mom. Like this tomato, I don't know what this is. Oh, these are aromas. That one I probably won't plant. It does not look super great. These other 2 aromas though, they look fine. So let's put the aromas that I'm gonna plant over here. I could maybe plant them, but I don't think so. I think I have enough of the ones that look good. And I'm just gonna put as many plants in here as I can. I thought I ordered 2 huckleberry plants in case one didn't do well, but I only ordered 1. Let's see. I have a lot of figuring out I need to do. I think this bed here is going to be a pumpkin bed, and I'm gonna ask Josh to move these pots over because the pumpkins are gonna grow out. Right now they have a volunteer, it must have been a elephant garlic I forgot to harvest last year because that's elephant garlic. I have a ton of lettuce in here. I'm gonna plant pumpkins around the lettuce, and then I have potatoes. But what I do know is I'm pretty sure I want to put tomatoes in here and have this be a tomato bed too, because I put onions in the front here and I can't have this be a pumpkin bed. One, it was a pumpkin bed last year, and if I put pumpkins, they will outshine the onions, and I want those onions to grow. So I'm thinking that that's gonna be a pumpkin bed there, tomato bed here. I'm just thinking out loud with you. And then maybe that be a pumpkin bed, I'm not sure. But I do know I want this one to be a tomato bed. Usually I like my beds to kind of mirror each other. I'm not gonna be able to totally do that this year with the pumpkins. I found Josh's hat in the side-by-side, so I just stuck it on because I don't have any sunscreen on or anything. That's why I am wearing long sleeve, even though it's getting really warm out here. I have a bunch of volunteer stuff pop up, and so I'm not gonna be able to do my original, what I was kind of thinking. So this is gonna be a tomato bed too, and I'm just letting lettuce kind of be ground cover around it to reduce the weed pressure, and that seems to be working pretty well actually. And then I'm thinking along the back side of this bed, this middle bed, and that bed will be tomatoes. I think I have enough tomatoes for that, but I'm not exactly sure. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start laying things out and placing them in spots and seeing how far we get. This is some kale here that I had something eat my kale out of this bed. I have 3 survive. So I repurchased a couple of them. So I'm just gonna stick these here. I'm gonna need to put some sluggo down. I think it was slugs that ate up, but I'm not sure. It is pretty hot right now for me where I am, being, I don't even know what temperature it is, but it's getting warm. I don't actually want to plant out these kales until it cools down a little bit, and actually the tomatoes and everything. So we're just gonna lay everything out, figure out where it's gonna go, and then when it cools down, oh, I've got, these are seeds from my anemones, and I have tons of baby anemones. What I've been doing, these are anemones. They're so beautiful. When I find a seed pod that's gone to seed like this, is I'm taking it and I just rub it into the soil, and I'm hoping for a lot more anemone babies next year. This bed over here is just absolutely chock full of anemone babies. These are all ones that went to seed from last year that sprouted. So here you can see me spreading all these seeds, because this will be an entire anemone bed, I'm thinking, next year. This is going to be 1 Roma bed. I'm kind of doing them staggered. So 2, 4, 6, because I have a dahlia there. I'm going to let that grow. 8, 9 in this bed. That'll be good. So I'm just going to let those live there for a minute while we go figure out the rest of the tomatoes. These here are going to be the vining tomatoes. Pineapple, my favorite. Some of these are my mother-in-law's. I want to try to get the same varieties next to each other. Clementine, that's my mother-in-law's. I usually put 9 tomato plants on this back trellis. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I figured out where all of the tomatoes are going. I have 2 back rows of tomatoes and I'll have 2 Roma beds. So this is definitely going to be by far the least amount of tomatoes I have ever grown. Plus I have a couple cherry tomatoes. I tried to drive this thing back up to go get the peppers, but I'm going to need Josh's help. This steep curve is very difficult to get around, and I've spun out on it before, and I don't want to do that today. So I got to come up here and give him a call and see if he can help me. And I did find another huckleberry plant. I need to do something with rhubarb soon. It's looking so beautiful. Now that I have all the green stalks planted, Josh and I can figure out where we want them to kind of live long term. And then we can set up the irrigation. Josh brought the side-by-side up. I grabbed my hat. I am gonna drink a second glass of water. I had just a little bit of time inside to kind of take a little bit of a break, cool off, reset, hydrate. I pulled out my B cups. I think I want to start using these regularly. I bought them for a dinner party and I love them so much. I'm falling over. Didn't want them to get broken or something, but they just sit in a cupboard not being used. And now that it's spring, maybe these will be my spring cups. And I would rather use them than not use them. So I pulled my B cups out. Okay, let's get these peppers down to the garden. I just texted my sister because she had mentioned they were going to do a garden and wanted me to start some peppers and tomatoes because I have some extra tomatoes and I know I'll have extra peppers. And I just said, do you want them? And she said, no, they're not doing a garden this year. So that's news to me. So my mother-in-law, her church, they are all big gardeners. So I am going to see if I can drop these off, or if my mother-in-law will bring them to her church on Sunday and give the extras away to whoever wants them. Or if she doesn't want to do that, I'll drop them off at my local library. I did that last year and that worked great. So I was just wanting to make sure that if I spend a lot of time starting all these goodies, I want to make sure that they go to a good home, the extras, because I always try to start a few extra than I need. These right here are yellow monster peppers. So these are a bell pepper basically, and I'm out of those. I didn't grow enough of those last year to keep frozen on hand. These are yellow monster and sugar rush peach peppers. And I overwatered those yesterday. And that water stinks. So before I make dinner, I'm gonna need to obviously take a shower. Let me put those next to that. Oh my gosh. These were so high up on that shelf, I couldn't see how much water I was putting. I have a dahlia here that's my favorite dahlia out of all the dahlias I have, and I probably have over 100 now at this point that I've started from seed, and that one's my favorite. And it's not on irrigation, so we will give it the extra fertilized water. That water stinks real bad. These are Anaheims and dahlias. I only started about 5 dahlias this year because I have so many. These are Anaheims. My Anaheims did really well last year. I still have a few bags of Anaheims in my freezer, which reminds me I need to use those up. I'm doing a little bit of a, not necessarily a pantry challenge, but I'm challenging myself to not go to the grocery store this week. Just cook based on what I already have on hand. So those are serranos. I'm gonna put these in the bed of the truck. I have 2 black-eyed Susans that I got from Azure. I want to put those in my landscaping. I'm going to put these away. So these are yellow monsters. So where are we gonna put our yellow peppers? My goal is going to be to not overcrowd the beds that I put peppers in. Should we put yellow peppers here? 2, 4, 6, 8. I could put more than 8 in one bed, I think. This bed is gonna have some sort of vining pole bean. I don't think I can put 16. I don't think I want to put 16 in each bed. But I'm gonna stick this here for now. These are all the same variety of pepper here. Sugar Rush Peach, bell pepper. Let's see here. One of the problems is a couple of my beds I need to clean out. This bed here, I'm gonna plant with something, but it has calendula in it. So I need to come out here and clean that out. And that bed at the very end is all 100% straw flowers right now. And I need to clean that out as well. Oh, there's baby zinnias in here. That's awesome. That means I can plant zinnias. So probably tomorrow I'll get to that. I have just plants kind of dotted all throughout this garden. There's still lots of maintenance I gotta do. I gotta clean out this bed. This is a volunteer potato bed. So I have 3, and this is a tub of weeds that I need to take care of. But I have 3 potato beds, so I probably did not need to plant that first bed of potatoes. Back when I did, there's where I put some serrano peppers. Those are some Roma tomatoes waiting to be planted. I did not actually put anything in the garden yet. It is pretty toasty out here to me. So what I think I'm gonna do is I am going to stop working out here for now. I'm gonna go inside and make a quick, easy, delicious dinner. Actually, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I was looking at these and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wait and kind of figure more of those things out. I have quite a few plants here still yet to figure out where to go, and obviously plant all the things that I've put where I want to go. Then I've got quite a few beds that I just need to clean up still. But what I think I want to do now is go make dinner, hang out with my family for a little bit, cool off, and then I will be back out here this afternoon because, like I said, I really need to get this stuff done because it is going to be raining. These plants are ready to go in the ground. It's a good time for it. So these next 3 days are just going to be super busy, and that's okay because we've had a lot of fun relaxing for the last few days. Productive, but relaxing. Okay, I'm pulling my grill away from my house because I'm gonna grill some chicken for dinner. I'm gonna go get cleaned up a little bit, take a quick shower, just rinse off, change my clothes while this heats up. I already have my meat thawed, so thank you so much for being here. Stay tuned because this is just, well, I was going to say the start, but it's not. It's really the start of the major planting after we have kind of passed the risk of last frost. So thank you for being here. Let me pop some videos here. You can go enjoy between now and my next upload. I hope you're having a great day. Can't wait to see you next time. Bye, friend.